Welcome to Vegan Ultra. I'm your inspiration guide, Adam Gallus, on this epic quest for health, hope, and happiness, in which I lose 150 pounds in 12 months on a whole food vegan diet while walking 3,000 miles to prove to my family, myself, and anyone watching on YouTube we can all become the ultra versions of ourselves if we give it a chance and are powered by plants. This is part 2 of my recipe for cinnamon soy milk. So let me show you. Of course, yesterday or in the previous video, we talked about the rules of thumb for determining whether or not something is healthy and can be included as part of a whole food plant-based diet. Cinnamon milk or soy milk passed the test with flying colors. And of course, on Food Friday, we saw the incredible health benefits of soy. 2 to 4 servings a day has statistically the same health benefits in terms of mortality risk and extra statistical years of life as eating as 5 servings of fruits and vegetables, and almost as much as eating nuts every day. So now let's add that one superfood to another, which is cinnamon. From nutrition facts, we can see that the very powerful antioxidant benefits, basically half a teaspoon, boosting the antioxidants by 6-fold in whatever food you're using. But it is very important to remember Ceylon or true cinnamon versus cassia. If it doesn't say Ceylon, it's basically cassia. And the problem is cassia can have much higher levels of coumarin, which is a chemical that is toxic to the liver in too high of a dose. This is why it's recommended to use Ceylon cinnamon whenever possible. Now, some studies do indicate that the potential diabetic benefits go away when you use Ceylon cinnamon, but the rest of the benefits remain, and those include absolute amazing benefits, such as, here is basically from the National Institutes of Health. It is basically an antioxidant, an anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial, anti-cancer, lowers blood pressure, reduces the risk of heart disease, and even appears to have protective effects against Alzheimer's, dementia, and Parkinson's. Now, of course, how can you find something like a Ceylon cinnamon? Well, go to Amazon, where you can find something like Terrasol. Now, I am not getting paid by any company. This is just a high quality, safe brand that my AI life coach recommends. And you can see at 83 cents an ounce, if you buy it in bulk, this is a pretty good deal. You can see it's got surprising amounts of iron and calcium and potassium and even fiber, because of course this is a superfood spice. Now, I personally like to I've experimented with this, and I found that this from Cinnamon Vogue, this is a Ceylon cinnamon bark oil, steam distilled, basically very high quality. They lab test this. It's 81% pure cinnamon aldehyde, the active ingredient, about 5% eugenol, ultra low coumarin. Now, based on this information, my AI life coach estimates that this entire bottle of 10 milliliters has between 0 and 0.6 milligrams of coumarin. So why does that matter? Well, the U.S. government doesn't specifically have safety recommendations for coumarin, but the European Food Safety Authority, which is a good proxy because they, of course, also have lots of scientists and are using meta-analyses, recommend 0.5 milligrams per kilogram of body weight. So what does that actually mean? Well, if you're a small woman, say 100 pounds, that's 45 kilos, and around 2.2 milligrams per day is safe. For a guy who's 200 pounds, that is about 4.5 milligrams. And of course, if you're heavier at 250 or 350 pounds, then it's even higher. So this entire bottle, which is 200 drops, and this is of course very concentrated. So 1 to 3 drops per 8 ounces is basically what they recommend. I've tried, I like to use 3 drops per 8 ounces because I like flavor. I want to be in flavor country, and this is very powerful. And what's nice is that because this is an oil in something like a soy milk or a pea milk, which we'll talk about next week, it dissolves very well and mixes it up in a blender. So the bottom line, this is 200 drops. So even the highest concentration, 67 cups worth, or 4.2 gallons. And this entire bottle, no more than 0.6 milligrams of coumarin. And remember, even for a small person, you could basically drink 3 of these bottles a day, which would be the equivalent of a roughly 13 gallons of cinnamon soy milk, which of course no human would actually do. And that's of course for a small person. A 200-pound man could have twice as much, 26 gallons, and still be within the safety guidelines. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you give it a shot, whether you're looking at the Ceylon cinnamon powder or consider the oil. It is basically delicious. The actual soy milk itself does taste like regular milk, but the difference is that it won't raise your cancer risk, it'll reduce it. It won't raise your blood pressure, it'll lower it. It will not increase your risk of dementia, it will reduce it. Pretty much the unhealthy negative benefits or harm coming from dairy. It's the exact opposite. Like I said, this is like finding out your Harry Potter, and all the rules work in reverse. We have healthy fats that'll make you live longer. We have, of course, foods that are absolutely incredible that can help you to age slower, feel better, just live the healthiest version of your life. And cinnamon soy milk has been something that's helped me. And by the way, if you remember the isoflavones, that's where all the magic happens in terms of fighting cancer and heart disease risk and lowering blood pressure. Well, one serving, 1 cup, is 25 milligrams per day. So remember, the government reports that studies say 50 to 100 milligrams, 2 to 4 glasses of soy milk, safe. And when you add some cinnamon, it truly turns it into the nectar of the gods and can help you to live your best, healthiest life. Truly science-based magic and nutrition-fueled sorcery. Thank you so much for joining us. Please subscribe to this channel, like this video to help other people find it on YouTube, and consider trying a Blue Zone vegan lifestyle. It's helped me lose 85 pounds in 20 weeks on my way to 150 pounds in 1 year, and it can help almost anyone become the Captain America version of themselves if you give it a chance and are powered by plants.